What's going on? I ran across the perfect picture from one of the shows that I did during Black Friday. Here in Chicago, I'm a videographer. I tape a lot of protests. And some of the protesters at the mayor's office downtown, give us jobs. Please give us jobs. Please do for us. And we think that we can vote and maybe a politician would drop billions of dollars in our community and our situation would change. And I'm telling people, no. It ain't never going to change. It's never have changed. When since politicians are going to change our situation now with this picture, the point that I want to point out is if anybody went out during Black Friday, now I ain't saying anything's wrong with shopping on Black Friday. But however, if you noticed, this is what you seen. This is what you seen. Each and every one of us with 4-5 buggies of flat screens, 60-inch flat screens. And do you know what we would turn around and say? We don't have jobs. What we don't have is discipline. This is my life in the shot. One of the points I want to make with this picture is I had a few conversations with, when I talk to people who are 50 plus, I say that generation, don't get me wrong, I respect them and did the best they could, but just like coaching, I feel it's always good to have a younger perspective. Because younger perspective can see going forward and a new direction. When somebody else's changes up their style, older people still have their old style. For instance, I talked to someone about the issues in our community. And everybody 50 plus, oh yeah, they used to do this to us. They used to do that to us. They used to. But when are we going to move forward? When are we going to move forward? There's an older brother, he was telling me, oh yeah, I'm teaching these young kids that just got out of jail, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X. And the young brothers told him, look here man, we don't want to hear about all that. I don't have a job right now, I'm not eating. So I don't want to hear about Marcus Garvey in the past. And he was like, man, I don't understand this generation. I'm like, man, wait a minute, I'm on his side. Let me tell you something. For one, if we don't teach our children how to survive first, we need to teach the future. Then we could teach, don't get me wrong, simultaneously or after we could teach the past. Don't get me wrong, we must know our past so it does not repeat. But however, we must teach our children how to survive first. And the only thing we're doing as a people is teaching the past. We don't want discipline. We want it easy. And I'm trying to figure out, and I'm wondering, are we lazy people? Because we want it easy. We don't want to go out there and work for it. I tell people, man, forget begging for jobs. Create your own. How about let's take discipline? Because once we make $100,000 a year, guess what we spend a year? $100,000. Guess how much we save for businesses? Zero. Zero. We don't save a dime in the bank. We don't have nothing in the bank. And we pride ourselves on having nothing. And this is the scene you see on Black Friday. We the same people out shopping buying 6 flat screen TVs. And we the same people that turn around and beg for jobs and say we don't own businesses. And why are they treating us this way? If we're out doing this silly ish, we don't deserve to be out yelling, talking about what we want and what we ain't going to do. And because with no money, no power. We a joke to everyone, and I can see why. Who else do you see out buying 6 or 7 flat screens? I've seen at least 10 families like this family right here. Flat screens, 2 and 3 carts. And we don't own any businesses. I ain't seen none of them there doing that. Done. You seen us like we rich. The point I'm trying to get to is we spend every dime. Speaking of spend every dime, where do we learn this from? I want to show y'all Mayweather. Clown-ish.
You know what's crazy? People are always in my fucking business, worried about what I'm doing, what Floyd is doing, what Floyd ain't doing, what I do got, what I don't got. just know I'm gonna stay in my lane. I ain't gonna fuck with nobody, and I don't want nobody fucking with me. If I go on vacation, my fault. When I go on vacation for 30 days, I take 30 watches with me. But you know what? You know what? What's crazy is this. If we add 10 more days, I take 10 more watches. But then I say, fuck it. If I want to bring out the one and only, then I bring out the watch that costs 18 million.
This is us. Clown-ish. Don't get me wrong. He worked hard for his money. But this, what does that teach our children? Instead of us buying businesses, and that's why I was telling the older sister about, yeah, but see, they used to do this to us. They used to do that to us. I'm tired of that. I don't care what they, well, don't get me wrong, I care, but I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about moving forward. How are we going to get out of our situation and move forward? Let's talk about that first. Let's teach our children to move ahead. But they did this to us 50 years ago. And did you know 100 years ago they used to... No, I don't... No, I know. I get it. I get it. But what are we going to teach them moving forward? Are we going to constantly dwell on, oh yeah, 50, 100 years ago they used to... Okay. But are you going to teach these children how to create a business? Are you going to teach these children on how to get out of poverty and create their own money? Because one of the biggest issues we have, we spend 1.3 trillion. That's the most anybody spent in the world. The reason we're in this situation, we don't have discipline. We don't want to save our money and put it towards a business. We don't want to live average. We don't want to drive an average car and put money up in the bank and then save it and stack it and put it towards your business. No. We want to beg. Please, Mayor, give us jobs. Give us contracts. And I'm like, why don't you just create your own job? They've created their own job. Any other foreigners that come to this country, guess what they do? Create their own jobs. Now, I watch a few other YouTubers and other documentaries and stuff like that. But how long are we going to talk about the past? One thing I want to tell you guys is we know what they did. We know what they're doing. We know what they're going to continue to do. The question is, what are you going to do? We got an excuse for everything. Oh, they did this and they're going to do this. Well, are you just going to lay down and cry and are you going to get up and stand up and fight like a man? And if you're not willing to get up, then stay down and take your ass whooping quietly. Stop crying about it. So that's why I have no sympathy for us. Because on Christmas and Black Friday, that's what we'll be doing. And then we'll turn around and say we don't have businesses. Oh, well, we're not willing to save our dime and start a business. We'd rather beg for it and hope the mayor gives it to us. Maybe they would invest in our community instead of us investing in our own community. We want it easy instead of having to actually get out there and sacrifice. I know foreigners. There's a foreigner that came to this country and she told me, Donald, I literally was so embarrassed. She said, I was so embarrassed. She lives in the Trump Towers, by the way, now. But she was saying, wow, I was so embarrassed. All my friends had bags of clothes and change of clothes and toothpaste and this, that, and the other. She said she had literally no bags. She literally came with the clothes off her back. She came from India. And I was like, wow, but that's a great story. She was like, I never told anybody this, but I didn't have a change of underwear. I didn't have a toothbrush. I didn't have anything. And I said, wow, but look, you need to tell your story. That's an amazing story. Because you literally came with the clothes on your back. She worked 2 jobs. Went to school, got a master's, got a job as a programmer. Making a 6-figure salary. But what we want to do is sit at home with no jobs and then beg. They need to do this for us. And that's why I can't listen to the old school no more. Because I'm tired of hearing what they did to us. Yeah, but they did this to us and they did that to us. Okay, all right, I get it. How long are we going to cry about that? I'm done crying about that. I'm looking towards the future and what we're going to do. Don't get me wrong. I would point out what's going on now and the discrepancy. Don't get me wrong. But let's talk about solutions. Because if we teach nothing but the problem, our children have no way of moving forward. One of the solutions is what we need to do is save your money. Every millionaire has 7 different sources of income. I got a channel where I talk about the stock market. Marijuana stock is about to boom. Marijuana is about to be legal. Make sure you get into stocks and bonds. Also, make sure you get into real estate. And stay out these damn stores buying houses you cannot afford. Buying cars you cannot afford. Mayweather, he's out spending $50 million on watches. Stop watching these clowns on TV. I respect him. He earned and fought and worked hard for his money. Even though he's retired, he's still out there hustling hard for his money. Don't get me wrong. I respect that. However, children, do not follow that clown-ish he does. You don't see Bill Gates even wearing a $50 pants or a belt or a watch for that matter. He knows what he has. He's confident with who he is. He ain't got to show off and showboat and look at me, look at me, look at me, everybody. Look at me. That's lame clown-ish. If you still need to validate yourself at 40 plus, even 30 plus, you a clown. You a clown. Even if I had $1 million in the bank, I wouldn't tell everybody, look at my watch, y'all. Then I could go to the store and I could buy a watch, y'all. Oh, that's clowns. This is why collectively as a people, they millionaires and they billionaires investing in back in their communities. That's what they million and billionaires doing. Chinatown there's a Chinese billionaire that puts 18 million in Chinatown like every month. Better than themselves, better than their businesses. Therefore, they got a foundation. They could come into Chicago, into Chinatown. They got hotels. They got a port. They got everything. They right off the lake. They can ship in stuff, ship stuff out. That's why they winning. That's why we losing. You want to see what our billionaires are doing? Clown stuff. Buying cars and Bentleys they can't afford. Why most of our billionaires are broke now? Buying cars they can't afford. Buying watches they can't afford. That's our millionaires, billionaires. You think our millionaires are buying businesses and putting money back in the community? Yeah, right. That'd be too much like right. Anyway, make sure you guys comment. I read all the comments. Peace, peace.